Hello guys, this is Karthik. Today I'm going to discuss about solution for placement activities questions. This is the first question. All questions belongs to the C++ and void call end with a semicolon class Sukshmas and public access specifier int k is equal to 10 void call. I'm taking the function outside the class and execution of the program begin from the main. I have created the object for the class called Sukshmas. With the help of an object, I am calling the function called call. And I'm asking here whether the compilation fails at line number 1 or 8 or the 15 or else you will get the output of the C++. So these are all the following options. This is the program. If I'm trying to build and run this code, you will get the compile time error. Compilation fails at line 15. Why? Because now this is the function. We are taking the function outside the class. So if you want to take the function outside the class and if you are providing the implementation here, so we have to modify the some of the syntax here. So here first return type and followed by the class name, then followed by the scope resolution operator. With the help of the scope resolution operator, we can take the function outside the class also. This is the most important. This is the return type and followed by the class name and followed by the scope resolution operator. We are taking the function outside the class and here we can provide the implementation. With the help of an object, if I call the method called call, then you will get the proper output. C++ will be displayed on the screen. Here one point you have to remember is how to take the function outside the class. If you want to take the function outside the class, first you have to remember return type followed by the class name Sukshmas and followed by the scope resolution operator. This is 3 point you have to remember. Return type, class name, scope resolution operator followed by the function name. Then you will get the proper output. This is the second question. Class Sukshmas private int k is equal to 10 public. This is the friend function. This is the friend keyword friend void call and we are taking the function outside the class and here I have created the object for the class called Sukshmas. With the help of an object I'm accessing the private variable here and execution of the program begin from the main. I'm just calling the function here. These are the following options: whether the compilation fails at line 8 and whether the compilation fails at line 11 or else whether the compilation fails at line 15 or else you will get the output of the value called 10. These are all the following options. Now if you are trying to build and run this code, so you will get the output of the 10. Here the concept is belongs to the friend function. Why we are introducing the friend function? So if you want to access private variable outside the class, if you want to access private variable outside the class, now we are introducing the friend function. The best use of friend function is if you want to access the private variable outside the class, then we need to go for the friend function with the help of the friend keyword friend void followed by the call. This is treated as a friend function. Now if you want to take the friend function outside the class, no need to go for the scope resolution operator. Also we can directly write void followed by the call and here we are creating the object for the class. So Sukshmas is a class name. I have created an object for the class. With the help of an object, I'm accessing the variable k and that is present in the private. So this is the best use. And inside the main, I'm not creating any object. We can directly call this. Directly we can call the function name. Inside you have to create an object. Why we need to create an object? With the help of an object only, we are trying to access the variable that to private. So we are accessing the private variable outside the class with the help of the friend function. This is the concept. This is the third question. Class Sukshmas and public. This is the concept is completely belongs to the constructor as well as the destructor. So inside the constructor is invoked and inside the destructor is invoked. Just I'm printing the message and execution of the program begin from the main and Sukshmas. This is what we call it explicitly calling of a constructor. Explicitly calling of a constructor. Here I have created the object. So when I created an object for the class, constructor of the class will be invoked. And how exactly this works? This is explicit call of a constructor. And these are all the following options. This is the first option. Constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked. Constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked. This is the second option. Constructor is invoked, constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked, destructor is invoked. This is the third option. Constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked. And this is the fourth option. Constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked, and destructor is invoked. Now, if you are trying to run this code, this is what exactly the output. Constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked, constructor is invoked, destructor is invoked. How exactly? This is what we call it as a explicit call of a constructor. Then how exactly it works? This is the point you have to remember. Compiler create a nameless temporary object. Here I am not creating any object for the class. And compiler create a nameless temporary object, and that is immediately destroyed. It will create a nameless temporary object. Then after that, immediately it will be destroyed. That is the reason destructor is called. It will create a nameless temporary object is created. That is the reason constructor is invoked when you are creating an object for the class, and immediately it will be destroyed. That is the reason immediately destructor is invoked. After that, this is what the when you are creating an object explicitly constructor is invoked, then followed by when the control is coming out, definitely the destructor is invoked. This is the next question. Class Sukshmas int k is equal to 20, static int k1, and public static void display and cout, and I'm trying to display the value of k as well as the k1. And now I'm taking the static variable outside the class with the help of the scope resolution operator. This is the return type int and class name scope resolution operator k1 is equal to 10 and with a semicolon. Execution of the program begin from the main. Here, if I want to call a static function, no need to create an object. And how to call it? With the help of the class name, I can call it class name followed by the scope resolution operator followed by the function name. And these are all the following options: 2010, and second one is compile time error, and the third one is runtime error, or else you will get an output of 20 and followed by the 0. This is what exactly the program as well as the options. Now, if you are trying to run this code, you will get the compile time error. So why the compilation error? So static function can access the static variable, and static function unable to access the non-static variable. This is the non-static variable. So that is the reason we are unable to access static function access static variable. Static function unable to access the non-static variable. If you are trying to access, you will get the compile time error. So instead of that, now I will just remove this. Now static function trying to access the static variable. Now if you are trying to run, you will get the output of the 10. Here I'm initializing the value outside the class with the help of the class name and followed by the scope resolution operator. I'm accessing the static variable and also initializing the static variable outside the class. This is the point you have to remember: how to initialize the static variable outside the class. Return type you have to specify, okay, int, then followed by the class name, then followed by the variable scope resolution operator, then followed by the variable assignment operator, followed by the value, end with a semicolon. This is the next question. Class Sukshmas private int k is equal to 10, and this is the concept of the friend class. What is exactly the friend class? One class is a friend of another class. This concept we call it as a friend class. And what exactly the syntax is? This is the first class. So inside I am taking the friend and followed by the class and followed by the Bangalore. Now Sukshmas is a friend of Bangalore. This is what the complete declaration: friend class Bangalore. So one class is a friend of the another class. Now class Bangalore and public void call. Here I have created the object for the class. So here with the help of this object I'm accessing the variable k. Now execution of the program begin from the main. Here I have created an object for the class called Bangalore. With the help of an object I am calling the function call. So inside I have created an object for the Sukshmas. With the help of that I am trying to accessing the variable that is private. So private variable accessing from the Bangalore class. And these are the following options: whether the compilation fails at line 4, or whether the compilation fails at line 5, or whether the compilation fails at line 13, or else you will get the output of the 10. Now if you are trying to run this code, you will get the output of the 10. So with the help of the friend class, this is the friend class Bangalore. So inside I can create an object for the first class. This is the second class. With the help of this object, I can access the private variable with the value from the different class. Why? Because Bangalore is a friend of Sukshmas. So I created an object. I'm calling this here, and you have to create an object if you want to access the value. Suppose if I comment this, if I'm trying to access the k directly, See, you will get the compile time error. So that is the reason inside the Bangalore you have to create an object for it. With the help of an object, you have to access the private variable that is present in the different class called Sukshmas. This is concept we call it as friend class. That's the next question. So int main and character k is equal to 10 followed by the sukshmas. Here I'm introducing the predefined function called atoi, and which is present in the stdlib. You have to take this header files to execute this program. Atoi followed by I'm passing the array, character array I'm passing over here. So why we need to go for the atoi? You have to first think about why we need to go for the atoi. So if you want to convert the string representation into the integer, so we need to go for the atoi function. Here it will, so 10 is present, which is representation of a like string. It will take, then that will be stored the value in a d variable, and I'm trying to print. So here I'm asking whether these are the following option, whether 10 followed by sukshmas will be displayed, or 10 will be displayed, or garbage value will be displayed, or else compile time error may generate. These are all the following options. We'll execute this code. If you are trying to run this code now, so you will get the proper output of the 10. So these are the point you have to remember. First, you have to include stdlib.h. Then after that, why we need to go for the atoi? It returns integer value that will be stored as a string. This is entire thing that will be stored in a double quote. So here atoi, so it will take an integer value that is stored as a string. So it will take only integer 10, and that will be stored in a variable called t that will be displayed on the screen. That is the reason we need to go for the atoi. It will convert your string representation into the integer. Then suppose if I'm first, if I write 10 over here, then followed by like this. If you are trying to run this code, see, it never retrieve anything. 0 will be displayed on the screen. Suppose if I add integer in the beginning, 12, string representation of an integer, then if you are trying to run, only it will fetch us the first one, 12, that will be stored over here. It never fetch the 10, or because it's present, it's starting with the string completely. This is string representation of an integer. So that is the reason we are introducing atoi. The task of the atoi is to, it will return the integer value that is stored as a string. This is the next question. This concept is belongs to the command line argument. We are passing the value from OS prompt or command prompt to the program. This concept we call it as command line argument. Suppose this is the question: execute the program which accepts the 4 number from the command line. The values are given below. You have to pass this value from the command line 1, 2, 3, 4. That will accepted by the main function. This is the integer. This is the character array representation. And now, so we are trying to print the value of k, and I'm using the for loop int I is equal to 1, I less than k, I plus plus. Here I'm trying to display all the values. So these are the following options. The first option is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then second option is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And third option is 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fourth option is compile time error. So I'm using the code block software and how to pass the value through command line argument. For this, you need to go for the project, click on the tab called project, and you have to click on the set program argument. And here inside the program argument, you need to pass the value. I'm passing 1, 2, 3, 4, and click on OK. Then after that, if you are trying to build and run this code, so what's exactly the output? The first option is the correct one. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be displayed on the screen. How many number of arguments? We are passing only 1, 2, 3, 4 only, but it will take the program name. It will consider program name is also 1. So that is the reason total number of argument in 5. This is integer represent total number of argument. We are passing the 4, but it will consider the program name also. That is the reason it will be display 5. Then after that, I is equal to 1, I less than the 5. All the elements k1 of 1, definitely 1 will be displayed on the screen. So all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 will be displayed on the screen. The 5 is represented followed by the this C, first cout statement. Why? Because including the program name, it will treat it as a 5. Suppose if the I values begin with a 0, you will get to know properly now. Now observe the output. This is what the program name, you will get it. Then followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 will be displayed on the screen. That's the next question. This This question is belongs to the alias operator concept. Class Sukshmas in k is equal to 10, public void display, and this is what the representation of the alias operator, ampersand followed by the k1. This is alias operator, and this is the variable. This is represents the alias operator. Int ampersand of k1. This is the variable, and here I'm trying to print the value of k as well as the k1, and increment the value of k. Here again I'm trying to print the value of k as well as the k1. Here I'm trying to increment the k1. Then here again I'm trying to print the value of k as well as the k1. And these are all the following options. The execution of the program begin from the main. I created an object for the class Sukshmas. Yes, with the help of an object I'm calling the function. These are the following options: 10 and 10, 11 11, 12 12. The second option is 10 10, 11 10, 11 11. Third option is compile time error, and the fourth option is runtime error. Now, if you are trying to build and run this code, so we'll get the output of 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. How exactly? This is what the alias operator int ampersand of k1 is equal to k. What is the value of k? The 10 will be stored in the alias also. Okay, then we are printing the value k as well as the k1, and 10, 10 will be displayed on screen. Whether if you are trying to increment the value of k, that will affect on the alias operator also. With the help of the alias operator, I'm introducing this one. When you are trying to change the value here, that will affect on the variable of k1 also. So that is the reason if you increment by 1, so this one also incremented by, this will also affect. That is the reason it will be displayed 11 and 11. Suppose if you are trying to change the value of k1, definitely that will be affect on the value of the k variable also. So that is the reason it will be displayed 12 and 12. So when you are trying to change the value of k, that will affect on the k1. When you are again trying to change the value of k1, that will be affect on the k. And this is what the concept of alias operator. This is the next question. This question belongs to the pure virtual function concept. So class Sukshmas and public virtual void call equal to 0 and with a semicolon. So this is what the concept of the pure virtual function. What exactly the pure virtual function is? A function that is the end with the equal to 0 notation and that does not have any body. This concept we call it as a pure virtual function. So very easy to remember this one. Virtual function that is end with the 0, that equals to the 0. This is what the concept of the pure virtual function. And class derived public Sukshmas and public, here there is a no body for it. So that is the reason with the help of the inheritance concept we are trying to provide the definition here inside the derived class. Here we are providing the implementation for the virtual function. Why? Because there is a no body for it. So here execution of the program begin from the main. I have created an object for the class, and also I have created an object for the derived class. With the help of the derived class object, I am calling the function called call. And these are the following options: compilation fails at line 4, compilation fails at line 9, compilation fails at line 16, or else you will get the output of the Sukshmas. When we're trying to run this program, so we will get the compile time error. Why? Because this will be linked with the abstract class also. How we can represent or identify the abstract class is any class consisting of one or more pure virtual function. That class we treated as abstract class. I will repeat once again how exactly this class is belongs to the abstract class. This class, any class consisting of one or more pure virtual function, that class we treated as an abstract class. When we treat it as an abstract class, if you are trying to create an object for the class, so we will get the compilation error. Why? Because abstract class we are unable to create an object for it. So if you are trying to create, you will get the compile time error. So comment this line: I created the object for the derived class. Now I am providing the implementation for in the derived class. So now if you are trying to run this code, so we will get the Sukshmas output. Why? Because I'm providing the implementation in the derived class. This all belongs to the pure virtual function. If any pure virtual function present in the class, that class we treated as an abstract class, that class is treated as an abstract class, we are unable to create an object for the class. That's the last question, 10th question. How can we make a class abstract? The first option is class Sukshmas and public. Here I'm introducing the virtual function. The second one is abstract class Sukshmas, and the third one is class Sukshmas public virtual void call. And the fourth option is option 1 as well as the option 2. Already explained how you can achieve the concept of the abstract class. Any class consisting of one or more pure virtual function, that class we treated as the abstract class. No need to use the abstract here. So the first one is the right answer. Why? Because this class consisting of the pure virtual function, this class we treated as a abstract class. This is all about the placement activity. Questions kindly practice well. See you in my next session. Thank you.